where we find eNCA's Ronald Masinda, who is out in Knysna. And Ronald, it's a small municipality, but they all count, don't they? Especially if you are the Democratic Alliance and you're seeking to do what they were talking about in 2016, to say they will want a blue wave that sweeps from the Western Cape all the way to the Eastern Cape. The Southern Cape is not the Eastern Cape, but it inches you closer and closer. And in the last few days, the contest has been heating up there in Knysna.
Yes, indeed, Tulas. Well, every vote counts, and where we were early on in Sedgefield, the elderly in that area came in their numbers. Over 2,000 people will be voting in Sedgefield this morning. But in contrast, where we are in Hornley, in a coloured community here in Knysna, it is a totally different story. I mean, since we've been here for the past 15 to 20 minutes or so, we've barely seen any people entering that building, probably one or two to go out and vote, which is quite disappointing because, I mean, a lot of people have raised a lot of issues, especially from these communities, over a lack of basic service delivery. I'm going to be speaking to one of the community leaders here who joins us now, Mr. Ralph Stander. Thank you so much for your time. Why aren't we seeing people going out to vote?
Good morning, all, and thank you very much for being here. You know, your vote is so important, and many people died to have a vote. But it's very sad to see that our people, they are not coming out to vote. I hope and pray that everyone would come out, but it seems to me people take the holiday just to relax and to do other things. So I'm urging everyone to come out and vote. Your vote is important. Your vote can make a difference.
Yeah, we've seen several people walking past us with their beers in hand, and it does seem like a holiday for many. But then why don't you address such issues? Why do people behave in such a manner, given that every vote counts for these elections?
You know, for me, I actually don't know, because we have serious issues. In Knysna, there are serious issues. We have issues of corruption. We have issues of maladministration. The municipality is in chaos. So it's important that people must come and vote to change the municipality. We have a situation here where the ANC mayor and the DA mayor said that our people are hooligans. Our people are bad people. But yet they still want the people to vote for them. I mean, it's very bad. We have a situation here where the ANC mayor, the ANC and the DA sent in the red ants to break down people's houses. I mean, how can you do that? Then you expect still the same people to vote for you.
Will we see the mayor still in power?
You know, the mayor is no longer the mayor. The mayor is the ex-mayor. So you actually should put it right. He's no longer the mayor. So I don't see him coming back. You know, I really don't see him coming back. The mayor and myself, a long time, we stood against each other. I was the deputy mayor of Knysna. The mayor lost with almost 80%. I got 80% of the vote. And the mayor and other parties, they had to share the other 20%. So I don't see the mayor coming back.
All right, Mr. Ralph Stander, thank you very much indeed for your time. That's the situation here in Hornley. To us, also very important to mention that it is a stronghold of the mayor. The mayor was formerly with COPE, and then since he joined the ANC, we are being told that a lot of the DA supporters back then went to join the mayor. So he is a person who's, well, highly respected by many. But according to Ralph Stander, there are some issues with the mayor, especially in Ward 6, where we are currently. We do know that there are 2 wards here in Hornley and around 6 voting stations. So we'll be monitoring the situation across the area. But where we are at the moment, things seem to be very quiet.
All right, Ronald, thank you for that. I'm about to go to Masego Rahlaga in a moment, but I want Jan-Jan Joubert to weigh in because he knows that particular area very well and the contest there. Very quickly, Jan-Jan.
Indeed. Tulasizwe, this speaks exactly to what we were talking about. That's Hornley in Knysna. That's a predominantly poorer ward, and that will be where the ANC wants to pick up votes, because the mayor that the gentleman was referring to, Mr. Ricky van Aswegen, he was elected for that ward, he's from that ward, and he was elected for Cope. Then he changed to the ANC. Now, the fact that they are not turning out in Hornley is interesting, and maybe our reporter can just go down the hill a little bit at some point towards 9 and 10. Then we see what the turnout is there. That's going to tell you the story of Knysna, at least in the morning. Differential turnout. Then wards 9 and 10 is the core of the DA's strength in Knysna.
Sure.
And if they turn out and Ward 6 doesn't, which is a very contested ward, that means that they're ahead.
All right. You won't find these insights anywhere else. This is the moment of truth. South Africa votes on the 1st of November today. Let me take you to Soweto, where we find eNCA's Masego Rahlaga. Masego has been there tracking President Cyril Ramaphosa, who cast his ballot at Hite-kani Primary School in Soweto, where he always does. His arrival was met with some boos from the crowd. Tracking developments there, as I've told you, is eNCA's Masego Rahlaga. So it happens again, Masego. Cyril Ramaphosa booed in Soweto.
That's correct, Tilasizo. And I mean, you need to understand why the community of Soweto is so upset. We did see, for instance, as we were driving in to this community on the main road, the Knysna main road here in Soweto, it leads to Soweto. And as soon as you arrive in this particular area, you can see evidence of a protest that happened there. You have to maneuver basically around the street, and you can see that people have been protesting. And we've been told that it's because there's been no electricity in this area. So people are booing because they feel as though the president, is from this area and has basically forgotten them. But he says that it's something that will be sorted. But let's ask the residents themselves, Tilasizo, if some of them could indulge us. It could be that this is a different group of people. Of course, the president left here about 30 minutes ago. But let me find out from some of these ladies. Dumelang. Look, guys,
I'm okay, and how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Did you see the president arrive here?
Yeah, no, I saw him on the TV. Oh. I was still at home.
Did you see, Hore, when he arrived, people were booing him? As a resident of Soweto and a resident of a place that the president is from, how do you feel about the leadership of the party he represents?
I didn't see the bullying, honestly, but all I can say is you'll never know what people are thinking. In the morning, there were no people here. As soon as he arrived, it was a lot of people. So I would say people, they know what they want. And you know what you want at the end of the day. So it's up to them whether they vote for him, for his party, or which party. It's all about what do I want in life.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for indulging us. I know that outside of here are some of the people who are actually booing the president, but of course those are the political parties that are outside still trying to convince people to vote for their particular parties. But basically, Tilasizo, as you heard from this lady I just spoke to, she says that she actually saw it on TV. She was shocked to see how many people arrived in the area as soon as they heard that the president has arrived. Let me find out from these young people here. Sissy, I can see you've got your ID in your hand, getting ready to cast your ballot. You look very young. Are you excited about what's happening here, what you're going to be doing here today?
Yes, I am excited. And I'm scared as well because it's my first time.
Oh, that's brilliant. Congratulations for actually even registering to vote. How do you feel about your first time casting a ballot during this difficult time in South Africa?
Yeah. Well, I'm representing my family and I feel very good about that. And yeah, the fact that it's my first time, I'm very honored. Yes.
Did you see that the president arrived here in Soweto? Do you have any specific feelings towards him coming to cast his ballot here? It's not the first time that he comes here, but do you have any feeling towards that?
Yeah, that's really great because it's showing that he doesn't forget where he comes from, So it's really great.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Well, that's a first-time voter, Tilasizo. I was lucky enough to be able to meet with a first-time voter. Not many of them have decided or took the decision to actually register to vote, but she decided to go the other way.
Exciting times. It's a democracy festival, Masego. We will touch base with you a bit later on. Just out of interest, Masego, did you see the shop nearby that's named Makati Homa Apitori? I don't know how the drama comes from Pretoria or something like that, if you were to translate it. That's what I remember from that voting station, Hite-kani Primary School, where President Ramaphosa
I'm
was.
to hear you, Tilas, because there's also the sound of a band here. You said what from Pretoria?
Don't worry, Masego. There's a shop there that's written Makati Homa Apitori. I don't know if you will understand what that means.
No,
that's where the big stories come from. That's where all the drama emanates from Pretoria. Masego Rahlaga out in Chawelo there in Soweto. You'll see on your screen there that we have Lindsay Dentlinger, who's been attending that media briefing by the IEC in the Western Cape. So, Lindsay, we're getting a sense then from the Chief Electoral Officer of the Western Cape what the situation has been in the first 4 hours, 4.5 hours now of voting. The main highlights, what came out?
To be expected, the weather wreaking a little bit of havoc here in the Western Cape, so not all voting stations opened on time. I can tell you 19 of them did not. Most of them here in the metro, where still steady rain falling, did not open slap bang on 7 o'clock, but the IEC says now all stations are up and running.
What's happening with your sound, and I don't know if it's just on my side, but I think let's give you a moment to just check. Let's get your team to check what's happening, and then we can come back to you, because it's an important briefing that has come out from the Western Cape, from the IEC there. So, Jan-Jan, President Ramaphosa booed in Soweto. The first time it happened, it was downplayed by the ANC. And the ANC, I remember speaking to Pulemabe saying that, no, the president was well received. Look, the people are upset about the electricity issue, but I'll have you know that it's being attended to, etc., etc. But the flip side of the booing is that that lady that Masego was talking to says people got energized when the president arrived there. So it's a bit of,
It's interesting. All power to the people. What happens if there's no power to the people? Maybe the power shifts. So we'll see what happens. I think this electricity issue is going to bite the ANC, especially in the metros, also countrywide. But the point she made, and also what the young voters said, very important. We must not be misled by noisy crowds. They, in the end, on a day like today, they don't count at the ballot box. They're important. It's important that we know what the mood is among some people in Chawelo, but in the end, you have to vote to make a difference. So it's more important what the voter says. And what the lady said was that actually those people came when they saw that the president was there. So they used the opportunity, and this is what happens when you have an unresponsive government, that people get energized the moment there are television cameras, and it actually works. I mean, the moment they are on television, say if you're a truck driver at Middelburg, then the Minister of Transport goes there. So that is the problem, but that might not be any indication of the result to expect from Chawelo tonight. And I did enjoy your shop, because not only the drama comes from Pretoria, sometimes some voters come from Pretoria as well, do they not?
And we'll have plenty of time to talk about the contest for Tshwane, which is the seat of the capital city, Pretoria, there a bit later on. It's just something that caught my attention. It's one of those, Jan-Jan, you'll know from your experience as well, when you're covering an election, it's grueling on the reporter. The mundane suddenly takes on some significance, or you sort of make peace with the fact that, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for this person to come and vote.
Can I tell you my favorite is a polling station in the Mtonjaneni municipality in the north of KwaZulu-Natal. It's a butchery. And when I was there in 1999, the butchery proceeded while the people were voting. And then at night, they counted by candlelight. And it was just, to me, this is your Love South Africa Day, where you see our people doing their thing.
The flavor of it.
Exactly, the fiber of it. It's the heart of the country.